Are liberals turning on masks? The same people who forced folks to cover up are now freaked out that criminals keep wearing masks while robbing stores left and right in Democrat-run cities. New York Mayor Eric Adams thinks it's time for a ban.
We need to use the technology we have available to identify those shoplifters and those who are committing serious crimes. When you see these mask-wearing people, oftentimes it's not about being fearful of the pandemic, it's fearful of the police catching them for their deeds, and we're really putting a call out.
But this about-face on masks could be too late. In Democrat-run Portland, Walmart will finally close its last 2 stores and lay off 600 workers after record-breaking thefts. So, I mean, this is basically common sense. I mean, these people going into the bodegas all double masked up, I don't think they're worried about COVID.
You know, it's funny. In the beginning of the pandemic, I said that, and, like, people went nuts. I said, you know what? It's like Jesse James. The first thing you do is you put a mask over your face. Okay, look, shock. Crime isn't just about putting people in jail. Crime is about making a community, a neighborhood, an area safe so that the housing prices remain the same so businesses can flourish. Now we're peeling back a layer of the onion. Now what we see is that not only are employees losing their jobs, not only are customers not able to buy the stuff they want to buy, businesses are going out of business, but now we're seeing that these individuals are not only going to jail, but they're ruining communities. And that's the problem. And I got to tell you, I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. It's like the 3rd time on this show. Eric Adams is starting to impress me. He gives them the ability to take in people who are mentally ill, gives the cops that ability, recognizes the importance of prayer. I mean, for me, that's kind of, you know, important. And this, I mean, why are they wearing masks? And here's the deal. You could say, you know, I'm afraid of everybody else. Well, you're stupid because they already came out and said masks don't matter. They don't protect you. Right. So what you do is you go into the store and they can ID you with the technology, but then you can put the mask on when you're in the store. So that's a great thing.
Judge Janine complimenting Democrats.
Yep.
What's going on here, Geraldo?
Well, I like Eric Adams very much. I have been a firm supporter of his. I liked him when he was a cop. I've known him since then. We've spent some time together recently. Crime is very much on his mind, Jesse. He fears for the city. This is a very practical approach to some of the casual crime and some of the premeditated stick-ups that you're seeing. You know, you defeat the most elaborate security system by wearing a hoodie and putting a mask on. So I think that, you know, putting a sign up, no mask on, no service. You got to, or a mask is off here, or you have double doors the way they do in many jewelry stores nowadays. I think you have to start protecting retail the way you protect banks and some of the precious assets.
The critics say, Dana, that you're putting the onus on the bodega owner to say, hey, you, before you come in here, drop the mask.
Paul Morrow, who I know you all know pretty well, he's been on air. He was on a newsroom on Monday talking about how the NYPD often comes up with some sort of creative solution. And that he said this really isn't going to help the bodega owner, but it will help these bigger stores that are on up and down Fifth Avenue where you have the smash and grabs. Because if they know that they're going to have to show their face, they might just be a deterrent. But the real problem also for the bodegas is the robberies. And then the point about the Walmart's closing, that it's not the only stores that are going through this, and it's not because of masks. And I think that this is the beginning of, well, not just the beginning, we're in the middle of decline. Okay, so the policy trade-offs are what's happening here. Maybe they're unintended consequences, okay, but if you have prosecutors who will not prosecute actual crime, and stores get looted left and right, like the theft is through the roof, the stores can't make money. And the staff who is working at those stores, like at the Walmart, might be threatened by approaching somebody and saying, I saw you take that, you need to put it away. They're told they can't do it. Inevitably, these stores are going to close. And then what's going to happen? Then the local advocates are going to say, that's racist that you're closing this store, right? And now there's food deserts where people are supposed to get their goods. And you're making people travel farther. They can't afford the gas. And it is this slow decline, but it's like the unintended consequences. You think about the wind farms off the East Coast, likely leading to the killing of whales. You think about the president's obsession with electric vehicles and those car batteries destroying rainforests. Lots of these things happen, but if you have prosecutors who won't prosecute crime, you're going to get more crime. and then stores are going to make the inevitable decision to leave.
Well said. TJ.
Yeah, I mean, this talk about an about face on masks. Huh? I thought only Fauci could do that. I think the idea of putting up a sign is a great one because we know how criminals follow signs. I think we should all wear buttons that say, please don't mug me.
Yeah.
I think that'll really work. What a sign is and what a button is essentially is an excuse not to fight the real problem. And to fight the real problem, you need a ton of cops. All of this stuff is happening because of the lack of foot patrols. If cops are the best deterrent, right, and they got to be allowed to do their job. We've reduced these patrols. We've reduced the retirees, and also we basically handcuffed them. So that's why this is happening. You know, how did this also start? Well, shoplifters, at least in California, realized they could steal up to $900 and they wouldn't get prosecuted. So there was a $900 do not pass go, do not go to jail. So they all did it. And I'm thinking, like, you know, that the illegal immigration bus movement thing was such a good thing. We should just take these guys when they get busted and drive them to the homes of the politicians and just let them out and go.
It's not about the illegal immigration.
Okay,
Jesus
don't
Christ.
It's not. It's not. It's our own native-born.
Okay,
Please, will somebody tell Geraldo that he's not listening to me again?
Can I say?
Can I actually? Can I just make my point? My point is the people that were responsible for the bills that said it was okay to steal should feel the consequences. Has nothing to do with illegal immigration, Geraldo. So open your ears. Open your ears.
One of the good things, Greg, is the fact that one of the legislators in Washington is coming up with a bill that says now we're going to make any crime where the theft is over $450 instead of $900.
Yeah.
We're going to make it criminal. So they're dropping that ceiling now, which is great.
But they had to veto the D.C. crime bill that was soft on crime in a city that was plagued by crime.
They sure did.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.